instead of doing like an Instagram story of like a Q&A, we just thought we'd put it into like a YouTube episode. So I thought it'd be kind of cool. So we can kind of dive in. We took a load of questions. Sometimes on the Instagram story, can't get through them all. So just thought we'd spend 10, 15 minutes just answering some questions. Lego. Sorry, it's a good question. To be honest, I don't know. I don't actually know a pivotal moment where I was like, yeah, I want to start a fashion brand. I think it was more of a case of doing it in my spare time. And it came to the point where me, Aaron and Jazzy were quite like fashionable anyway. Like growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, but we still had style, if that makes sense. So we would just play the hand we was dealt and just made the best out of the situation we had. I would say that it's the intrinsic detailing and time under product management. So we spend a lot of time like testing. We won't just design, sample and get it out. We'll design, test, change, anything that we're not happy about, like, because we want a standard, and the game that we got into was something that we wanted to keep authentic and something that we wanted to take pride in. Is that your phone? Is that my phone? Sorry. We wanted to take time like in making a good product, something that we wear ourselves. So because we wear it ourselves, we want it to be quality. We want it to have that quality there. Biggest challenges so far? The business as a whole, or I think in any business, in any industry, I think it's a case of you solve a problem, there's another problem right around the corner. Constantly problem solving. So the biggest, I would say, is, I'd probably say stock levels is probably the biggest challenge that me personally has faced. I think one of my favorite pieces will probably be the track pant that I have on right now. Like, I always like to be comfy. These, for me, they're lightweight. We designed these in a sense of we wanted something that looked slick, quality, clean, but was still like lightweight, so you could wear them more pushed to like the summer. So we developed something that's lightweight but still very stylish. And the fit, for me, we just nailed it with the fit, I think, on these, and they just look super clean, and I just like wearing them. So I'd probably say the track pant for sure. How do you handle competition in the fashion market? Because everybody says about staying authentic, but even the brands that claim to be staying authentic still copy. At the end of the day, copy. But when you try to copy something, you have your own spin on it anyway, even when you're trying to copy that thing to the T. So I feel like it's about what your brand stands for, I think, at the end of the day. So down to all the individuals that work at your company, that work at the fashion brand, it's a, what do you guys stand for? Are you just selling products? Are you selling a lifestyle? Are you selling a slogan? Are you selling a dream? What are you selling? So I think that's what's going to separate you as far as competition. To be honest, I would say do it. A lot of people would be like, oh no, it's saturated. But to be honest, what industry isn't saturated? I think, like I said in another previous question, if you've got your brand morals, your brand values, a good team behind you, belief, then yeah, I think I'd say do it. I would say learn quickly, get your knowledge quickly, act quickly. Everything is quickly. But that doesn't mean poorly, it just means quickly. Work with speed, dive into the knowledge and learning spectrum quickly, and then you will progress as you go along. Because at the end of the day, what we did 10 years ago or 15 years ago, when you look back, you're like, what? Did I do that? But then like now it's just like, oh, we've got it to, you've got your whatever it is what you've been building to a point where it's just like, no, this is good. And then in 10 years time, you'll probably look back and be like, oh, what was we doing? Do you know what I mean? So I feel like you learn as you go and you grow as you go along. How do I balance work-life balance? I don't. My work-life balance personally is terrible. So I kind of made a decision that this is just my experience though. I could be wrong, but this is my experience. In order to be successful at something, you have to put your all into it. So that can be affecting relationships with friends, with family, whatever it is, and whoever it is. But you have to be dialed in. Like I'm talking just focused. I'm talking the blinkers on, you know your goal, and do everything that you possibly can in order to achieve that goal. I don't personally believe in work-life balance, to be honest. Do I have a workout routine? I have a workout routine. I work out 5 times a week. Monday to Friday, I normally have the weekends off to rest, or I do some active recovery on the weekends. I prefer to work out in the morning than the evening. That's just me. Get it out of the way, get it done. Me personally, I don't really like to work out. Like it's not something I love to do. It's something more as a discipline thing. So I do it because of that majority of the time. How do I approach customer feedback? Well, I think that's the most important feedback you can get. I think from your customers, they're your people. They're the ones that make it all happen. So I think a good way is to listen to them, listen to what they want, listen to what they're saying. If they're saying something to do with customer service, or they're saying something to do with the actual product, or you should listen. I think they're the most important people to listen to if you're going to listen to anyone. So yeah, I think and I think as soon as you dive into listening to them, your product, your service, your brand, everything will become better. What motivates my fashion choices daily? I like to be comfortable the way I work. I work at a fast pace. I'm like back to back with different things. So that's why we created the versatility pant. That's one that I also wear as well. So that was made for something I could go to a meeting in, but then go straight to the office. I don't have to go get changed. I don't have to do this, and I still look smart, I still look casual, and they're still comfortable. So my fashion choice is highly prioritized on my lifestyle. What is a mantra that I follow? I wouldn't say it's one that I follow, but it's one that I like. It's once you want to be successful as badly as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. I do like that. How do I manage my time effectively? Well, I now have an assistant that keeps me organized and tidy. Because before, everything was all over the place and it was a bit of a free-for-all and chaotic. As far as my schedule, all over the place. And I would plan things literally in the most awkward order you could possibly think. So now I have an assistant, they get it done, and we work closely together, and I'm on time and on schedule, and it makes everything 10 times easier. What's my thoughts on the future of fashion? Good question. I think everything's cyclical. Everything comes round, everything is circular. Like just 10 years ago, if you was wearing, not even 10, like 5 years ago, if you was wearing flared trousers, you would get bullied. It's coming back in. It's like coming back into style. Then we went for a period of like big graphics. Then we went into a period of spray-on jeans. Then we went into a period of baggy. So, and it just continues to come back round. Like slowly and surely, we're in the era of flared trousers in some form of way, whether it's like zip bottoms, whether it's actual jeans flaring over the trainers. So I think, yeah, everything is just cyclical. I don't think anything's going to ever change drastically as far as something new. I think there's nothing new under the sun as far as it comes to fashion. But I do think it's a case of just time periods floating around. Like another 5-10 years, spray-on jeans will be back. Tight wearing stuff will be back. Baggy stuff will be out. And then it'll just keep going like that. So what strategies do I use to maintain healthy relationships with manufacturers and suppliers? With manufacturers and suppliers, they work a bit like agents. They have clients, and depending on what you're giving them or the value of you is where they'll rank you as far as respect, timely replies, blah, 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 blah. And I think it's just something that you have to go through. When you first start, you're at the bottom of the food chain. So because of that reason, I think you just have to go through it. There's loads and loads of good manufacturers out there. You just got to find them. You have to start, you need to search manufacturers, look all over the place. You can find them everywhere. Once you've found 1, 2, 3, or 4 the ones that you like and that you've been working with and building that rapport over years, I think you then become at the top or close to the top, and you kind of work on that level where everybody's happy. One piece of advice I wish I received when I started, maybe the art of consistency and volume. If you continuously strive to produce product, be consistent, regular drops, regular original designs, I think I would have got to pivotal points quicker than I did now. It's a difficult one because I would say that I learned so much because of that, how I went through it. But at the same time, it's either that, or I would want to say to myself, as soon as you're in a position to hire people at the positions that you aren't very good at or aren't as good at, that's what elevates your brand. Okay, that's a wrap. Dean picked a load of questions. I don't know if it was too business orientated. Let us know, we may do another one, maybe quarterly or maybe 2 times a year or something like that, just to answer some of these questions, etc. Let you know what's going on. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then subscribe.